Okay. Hmm. So, my name's Liz, and I am turning 44 on December the 18th. And this is my first beauty challenge that I've ever done for Instagram, and I'm going to post it on social media, on Facebook and whatnot. So, one of the things that is going to be difficult for me is when I learned how to do makeup. When I learned how to do makeup, I was in my 20s and I didn't need glasses. I also didn't have boobs, but that's what happens when plus sizedness happens. And Henrietta Hudson's is the first lesbian bar that I ever went to. And I was a very loyal patron for from the time when I was 19 and I shouldn't have been let in to, what year was it? I think it was somewhere between 2006 and 2009. I was a bouncer there for a little while. But nothing heavy, just like checking people's IDs. And I've done the bouncer duty before at um, uh, Esquilito, which is closed, which makes me sad. It's just a few blocks away from the Port Authority, and I grew up in Hoboken. And even though my cultural background when it comes to being a lesbian is New York lesbian, I am what they call a bridge and tunnel girl, which is never a really positive thing to say, but it is what it is. Um, there wasn't much going on in Jersey, specifically for girls, women, lesbians, dykes. Um, it just wasn't enough business. If there were places that were mixed, mostly boys, there's nothing wrong with boys. Boys are great. But when it comes to being a lesbian, sometimes it's fun to be just with your people. Separatism came out of the political movement, the second wave of feminism and onwards. And when I was in college, there was what I'd like to call enforced androgyny. So if you looked feminine or you could pass as straight, that was seen as negative. If you were bisexual, because you would sleep with men, you were not seen as high status big dyke on campus. You were considered promiscuous, indecisive, that, because you're interested in sleeping with men and women, obviously, women is just like a side hustle instead of the real thing. And there's this concept called 4 years 4 year lesbian, so they're lesbian while they're in college and then they graduate and then they marry and have children. And I joke that I started out as a flaming heterosexual when I started Mount Holyoke. And then I graduated a big old dake, and I am a proud lesbian. It's 2020. I came out in 1996. So I guess I don't think I got the last laugh, but things were not as they seem. And I learned how to do makeup. I think I've got a picture. I learned how to do makeup from a friend of mine who was a go-go dancer, and her name is Osha. And let's see, do we have any nice pictures? Fancy pictures. Yes. Do you have... Ooh. Sexy, huh? She's Egyptian. She moved to New York so that she could be an out lesbian, and she was a go-go dancer. She did ballet dancing, and she's just a great human being, and I miss her. She lives in Japan. She has her own bar that's like a combination Japanese and New York, so she's living the dream. But I miss her, and she's been gone for a very long time. This is actually one of the last pictures I have of us together, and that's in my house in Hoboken that I no longer live in. I was in Hoboken the other day, and I drove past my house, and it does not even remotely look like my home. So, yeah, that was depressing. It was like, one of the things that's iconic about homes in tri-state area, Brooklyn, New York, Hoboken, are the brownstones. You know, they're um, beautifully sculpted works of art in the same way as like everybody romanticizes the Victorian homes or the Queen Anne homes in, like let's say in Boston or whatnot. The brownstones are very iconic, and I miss it. You know, they redid the entire front. They did horrible things with the architecture, and they had, you know, those projection lights, you know, where they go, psh, 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 and that it looked like a really B-level rave that might be run by a really cool 7-year-old. And I was like, how could you take a classically beautiful home built in the late 1800s and turn it into a freak show? So anyway, so that was depressing. One of the things that I when I was growing up, I did not know how to put on makeup. I tried, and it was never something that was natural to me. And I just figured that it was just something that I couldn't do, that I wasn't built for. And then I would, you know, I am very um, efficient at getting ready, no matter how elaborately I'm dressed, and most of my friends are not. And so I used to go to Coco and Osha's apartment so I can sit on the floor next to Osha, because she had one of those like those long mirrors that you dress in front of, but she would sit down in front of it and she'd have piles of makeup and brushes, and I just sit there watching her put on her makeup, or maybe she was at the standing counter, and I would just like stare and be in awe. She was just amazing, such an artist. And I said, I may not know how to girl, I may not know how to femme, but I am an artist. And so I was like, if by paying attention I can kind of see what I can do. So what I'm going to do today is my first experience with MAC makeup was on the corner of Christopher and Gay, which is in the heart of Greenwich Village, or what is known as the Village, which is where Henrietta Hudson is. And when you were in queer life, you went into queer spaces even if you didn't have money to buy things. Like I oftentimes didn't have money to buy makeup, or I'd go to Oscar Wilde bookstore, a different light, and I didn't have enough money to buy books, so I just sit down and stare at them lovingly, because there's no libraries to go at the time. Like when I came out in 1996, I was 19, and there was still like a really thriving community. It had, because of Calvin Klein and these androgynous models, it became mid to late 90s kind of fashionable to be gay, which made it even harder on people like myself who, if I were growing up in this generation, I would be somewhere in the non-binary, some kind of complicated thing. So I've been watching Glow Up on Netflix. You should so watch it. It's so fucking cool. And it touched my heart because it reminded me of the hundreds of hours that I spent in my late teens through my 20s watching drag queens, go-go dancers, burlesque dancers, strippers, in back rooms. Sometimes they were actual dressing rooms. Sometimes they were just the basement where um, liquor was kept, and they would shove us wherever they could to, so you could get dressed and changed and then go up. And what was interesting was, because most of my friends were go-go dancers, I spent more time in these liminal spaces, these tiny closets, these tiny places with little mirrors, or basements that are not designed for dressing up in. But I had the time of my life. It was some of the most amazing, alluring, talented, fabulous, and smart, different women. And so I started collecting MAC makeup. Um, there was there's a book that I did, a short story that was kind of a hybrid between memoir and fiction. in reality, I would go to this Mac store in Christopher and Gay and oftentimes not have any money. But one of the things that was boring to the makeup artist was how many people would come and look for natural makeup. I don't know why on earth you would go to Mac for that. So I would just sit there and like say, go for it. Like, do whatever you want to do. And they did so many beautiful things for me. And if you've looked at my Instagram page or my Facebook page, you'll have seen these things. Um, so I started collecting then, and that was, I'm thinking, 1999. Starting in the winter of 98 into the spring of 99, then my life changed. And I spent the next 10 years in clubs, sometimes 3 to 6 nights a week, mostly broke. I was there just to be there because I love to dance and I love my friends. And if I was thirsty, I'd go into the bathroom and drink out of the sink, because there was no shame in my game. I had enough money to get the PATH train back and forth, or the bus in and the train back home. And a lot of my walks to the train at night after the clubs were very dangerous. But they also marked a really amazing time in my life. So that's why for my first makeup challenge, I won't call it a tutorial because I don't have that talent, but I will showcase the different products that I think are amazing. And so that's it. So I've never done it without being directly in front of a mirror. And it's hard to do now that I need bifocals. So I'm going to ask you to bear with me. It may not be as amazing as it would have been if I still was younger and didn't need glasses, but I'll see what I can do. So my challenge is centered around one of my most unusual physical features, and that's my left eye has burnt sienna, which is like a color of brown, like a halo of brown around my iris, and then some rays of brown coming out of it, almost like an artist's palette. My eyes are blue-green. They've been getting a little murkier as I get older, which is charming. Like, can't I just have my pretty eyes? But it's life. So when you're going to do your makeup, make sure you have a clean face. I already have a clean face. What did I put on today? I use Immortelle cream from L'Occitane. And I even put the oil on because since COVID happened, I put on a lot of weight and my skin was really dry, and that was pissing me off because I may not have had a perfect figure, but I had good skin, and I couldn't understand. And recently, I've returned to the way my body was before the complete global shutdown. So I'm kind of happy about this. Like, I would not have fit in this shirt even remotely, like not even partially. So even though it's tighter than I normally wear my clothes, I think it's kind of a cool idea. All right, so clean face. You want to put on lotion, but nothing heavy or greasy. Let's see what I have. This is actually brush cleaner, so I don't need that right now. That's for later. And what face? I think I'm going to just use this one. It is MAC Mineralize. And what I do in order to get the foundation more evenly spread around my face is that instead of putting it on a brush and brushing it around, what I do is I take, let's put this in the unlock position. So this is there we go. So what I take and I put it in the palm of my hand, just like a few pumps of it. And now comes the scary part where I'm going to take my glasses off. And I'm going to play with my bra straps the whole time because I didn't want to put on a sports bra, and it's my own fault. Okay, so you have it in the palm of your hands. I just put an it in different places where I'm going to need color, like little dots. You know, when you do foundation, you're not just doing your face. If you just do your face, then in the end, you're going to have the color of the foundation and then your natural skin color. So that's just not a good look. So I put like dots all over the place. I put it on my neck too. And now I'm going to use a MAC foundation brush. Get in the corners. In addition to giving yourself an even foundation, it evens out your face, like, because I have rosacea and stuff like that. And it's kind of almost like a primer. Like you put, if you're going to put paint on your house. All right. So it's hard because I'm dyslexic and the video has me going the exact opposite direction. So I'm just going to do the rest of my hands for whatever I didn't spread properly. Spread on my neck, spread back to my ears. Obviously, you're like using a light amount of foundation so you don't look like a painted person, you know, so that you don't look like you're going to melt. I tend to go with a foundation that is complementary to my skin, but not too dewy and not matte. Matte makes me look old. And like my mom, when I took her to clinic to get her makeup done, they did what was trendy at the time, like this matte, and it made her look like a cadaver. So I had the makeup artist take off the foundation and put on, and she's like, "You want a dewy look?" Like I just asked her something really demented, and I'm like, "Yeah," because she looks chalky, and this is wrong. So here we have. You have like just a base. I don't know if you can tell my eye color, but you see this one? Do you see the different color going on right there? Okay, so the challenge I devised for myself is the side of my face that has the dual colors is going to be blue-green, and the side of my face that's just normal is going to be a combination of pink and purple, mostly pink, and both sides a lot of sparkle, because pink is my favorite musician, and I think sparkle is fun. Okay, so we have foundation. And where did I put my glasses? It'd be nice if I could see. Give me a second. Okay. I'll be putting my glasses on as I find stuff and then take them off again as I apply. Okay. So we have a foundation. Oh, this was the other foundation that I could have possibly used. This is called MAC Studio Face Body Lotion. So this is another option, and it's not just for your, as it says, face and body. So you're just, let's say you're wearing a strapless dress or you're wearing something that exposes your body. And as you can see, I'm Irish and I have like discoloration just because, you know, we're like Dolly Parton's coat of many colors, lots of different skin tones. Okay, so what do I want to do next? One thing that I did not find when I was looking at my makeup was primer for my eyes, but I think my foundation's enough for that. So let's see, what color do I want to do first? Well, what I'm going to do, this is not MAC, but it's cute. It's like a regular like CVS brand. It's called Multicolored Green Corrector, Physicians Formula Cosmetics. The reason why I got it is by having these little squares. I don't like use them individually. I just move the brush around to spread. And when you're doing dramatic eyes, start light, add dark, and then add more dark. Because if you can always accentuate, but you can have to redo your entire eye if you've gone overboard. So this is just going to prime, this eye that's got the color. So we'll start out with green. It's really soft. You're not going to see a whole lot going on. Let's see, what do I want to do it with? So I'm going to go soft, and I'll use my glasses so you know what brush it is. This is MAC brush 252. It's like a kind of like a traditional brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be very gentle when you're spreading back and forth. Don't press too hard. You want to get enough color on your brush, and then what I learned is to tap it on this bone right here so that you don't have like cakiness. And I'm just going to close. So not as easy as I thought this would be. Closer is better. Okay. All right. Now, side to side, before and after, you're not going to see a lot. But that's the point. It's just this beginning. When you're doing dramatic eyes, I always do mascara last. Because if you're doing something, whether it's a smoky eye or glitter or whatever, it's going to clump up your lashes. So mascara last. So now I did that one side, and I'm going to start soft on my other eye. This is actually Too Pretty. It's by Lancome. Totally adorable. It's kind of like a palette. It's got like a light pink and then a mauve. And I'm just going to use that as the base color for the other eye. And happily, I have a lot of brushes, so same brush as before, just like the version for Christmas gifts. So if you're going to MAC, buy this stuff now, because the brush sets are amazing. They're just shorter sticks, but it's pretty much the same thing, but it's cheaper. So you want to kind of take advantage, and I'm softly swirling again. And I tap it on my bone so that I don't have too much color. And I'm realizing, because I'm dyslexic and seeing things in the opposite way is going to drive me batty, I'll probably close my eyes as I'm doing a lot of things that I normally would look more closely at. So now we just have really light color base. One eye's got that kind of soft green, then the other one's soft pink and mauve. You can't really see much, but that's just the start. And then I am going to color my crease. I'm going to do something really dramatic with the pink side. And I really love this company because they have really kitschy names for their stuff. So this one is by Too Faced, and it's pink. It's like very, very pink. And it's called Mess in a Dress. So even if I never wore it, I had to have it. This is very different. This is a very high pigment. This is no joke. So you can't just, willy-nilly work with it. So you have to work with a different type of brush. So there are, like, I got this, this set. This is like for like really soft blush. This is similar to what I was This is similar to what I was using, that tan one, but soft. And this one is even tinier and it's a little stained, but that's what I put in the lower lid when I'm coloring. So what I'm going to do, because the pigment is crazy strong, is I'm going to use the softer brush and be very gentle. It's like with little kids, and they're touching puppies, be very gentle with high pigment color because you can't undo it. So instead of just casually swirling around, I'm actually watching and gently, gently tapping. Gently, gently. Whoop! There we go. Gently tapping. And as you can see, I haven't even tapped it on my wrist, and there's so much color there, which means a lot of potential for disaster. So tap really good. See what we're doing. And I'm following my eyeball. Okay, nice. Okay. And I will return to this color later and do a different brush and a different approach. So like I said, you can always layer on, but you cannot undo a disaster. So let's see, what color do I want to do? Put out a bunch. Oh, this is fun. I'm going to do high pigment once again. I'm going to play the glasses game. Put on the bifocals. So this one is MAC and it's called Dazzle Shadow. Try Me On. Isn't that cute? Try Me On. Absolutely adorable. Okay, what brush do I want to use this one for? I'm going to do a little different because this isn't as bright and high pigment, but I still need to be gentle. And this one is MAC 275SE. And as you can see, it's soft. It's got a graduated tip, but it's not as soft as the white ones. But it's not going to layer on color with the same level of seriousness as the first one that I used with the lighter colors. So what I'm doing is just like a gentle back and forth. Tap it on the bone. Let's see. Let's see. I think I want to do something a little different. Totally breaking my rules. I'm doing the wrong color on the wrong eye, but I'm not getting graded for this competition. Yeah, that's a good color. And if you can see, looking closely, I put some color in. I like it and I want more. So I press a little harder. Tap again. Look closely. Ooh. Nice. I like it. You can keep this brush out. I'll use it again with that color again. Keep it off to the side so I don't forget. And now I am going to go for, this one is going to be on the pink side. And it's once again from Lancome, which is not my usual thing. They have nice stuff, but I'm a MAC girl. So this is Lancome Color Focus Drama. And the really funny thing is it's not very dramatic at all. It's a very pretty purple. You can see. Pretty purple. And what's the name? So pretty purple is going to go on my pink side. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same brush that I was using with the pink. And I'm not cleaning it. If you want to clean something, if you're doing your makeup, you can keep like a regular hand wash rag and just, rub gently until the color comes off. But here, it's already pink. So I'm just kind of swirling it so it creates a blended color of pink and purple. Okay, that's pretty. I like that. So put those two together. I set out a bunch of different colors. Oh, that's really bold. Let's see if I have the cojones to use this color. I'm going to do it with the soft brush and hope I don't create a disaster. So this is a really nice blue, and it is in the shadows. Eyeshadow MAC once again. Really, really bold. And so when you're making choices, really bold, really light touch. Softer color, soft touch, or stronger touch, it's up to you. But this is a lot of pigment. And if you press down too hard, it's going to be a lot too much. So what I do is I just gently rub around. Let's look. What do I want to do? Oh, that's cool. And what did I do with you? I'm going to do this on both sides. I'm saying screw my challenge. So you gently, because you have your eyeball and you're just pressing in and just gently running over the upper diameter of your eye, not in a painful way, but just as a guide. So now we have colors in the crease. But that's not all she wrote. It's just a part of the story. And I'm going to put some more pink because I lost some of the pink. Let's see. Sometimes I like to put the really dramatic color in a crease and then soften it up with, like, you're going to take the color from like just by your nose to the center. And what I'm going to use for that, I got this I don't even like the Star Trek, actually, the show, but I bought this because it had a Star Trek logo on it. Because in the same way as I buy wine for graphic design, I buy makeup for graphic design. What's the pattern? Graphic design. So this one is, I think I think I have a really good sense of humor. And that's another reason why I love MAC. So this one is called The Naked Time. It's pressed pigment. Naked Time. There we go. The lighting's all wonky because I'm charging my new phone. That would be a better thing to film from, but it's misbehaving. So one of the things that's going to be interesting is I'm going to use this on both sides. And it is very light, And I'm going to go heavy with it because nothing bad can happen when you go heavy with that kind of a color, because it's so light colored that you could decide you don't like it and do something different. So I'm taking the brush that I used. I have a little pillowcase here. I'm just brushing back and forth. You can see, whoop, the brush is back to normal. And then what I do, just swirl around here. And I'm having, when it's sparkle, remember it's sparkle. So if you want subtlety, you got to be gentle, more thoughtful. But I'm not going subtle right now. I'm going for fun. So since it's like a nude with a gold tint and sparkle, I really don't care how much I'm using. And I'm going to do both sides. And what you do is you go from here and like from here to the middle of the eye. Yeah, I'm so dyslexic. This is hilarious. All right, crease that way, backwards. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this like with my eyes closed, because otherwise I'm just so confused. So when you're filming and you're looking, like, because I'm doing a screen record by QuickTime, and so it's got a little webcam, and I keep on getting twisted. I'm like, what direction is my brush going in? So we've done the left side. Gotta do the right side. And I don't have to be elegant because it's such a neutral thing. I know where in my eye I want this to be. I'm not using a strong color, so you can just go like whatevs. If it's not perfect, it's not perfect. Nobody's gonna yell at me. And if they did, I would just say nanny nanny noof foo foo. I'm not for you. So I guess it's easier to go by feel and look. My God, that was traumatizing. I'm sorry, everybody. And I'll keep this off to the side because it's adorable. Let's see. Let's have a look. Interesting, fascinating. All right. So I'm going to return to this blue, high pigment blue. I'm going to use a different brush. And this time I'm going to retrace the area that I just did with a lighter color. And I'm going to do it with my eyes closed because by sensation I know what I'm doing. But if I try and keep one eye open to watch what I'm doing, I will ruin it. It will just not work. So it's just a gentle tap, tap, tap. You're like, no, you're insane. You don't know what you're doing. I know I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't a clue. All right, this is the blue side. The powerful blue. Let's see. Whoa, that's fun. That's fun. All right. Not glitter time yet, but we're getting close. Okay, I'll use this on the other side to be like a contrast. So we got a lot of color here, so I'm going back to my little pillowcase. And you just wipe back and forth until most of the colors come off. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. And So let's see. We have that one. That one. I'm going to use these two. There we go. I'll start with the darker one, and I'll return to this brush once again because it's like the general thing that you would use, just all purpose. Okay, let me look. Okay, so this is my left eye. This is my right eye. Okay. The funny thing about me doing makeup with my eyes closed, which is hilarious, is if you've ever seen me at a club dancing, 99.9999% of the time, I close my eyes when I dance because I find it distracting to pay attention to other people, and I also lose my inhibitions when I'm not concerned about what people are seeing. So left eye, right eye. I forgot to say what this one was. This is Stylishly Merry Christmas. It doesn't say Christmas, it's just Stylishly Merry. And so I'm like, all right, Stylishly Merry. That's what we're doing. And I'm pressing pretty hard because this is not a bold color, and I already have really dark on my left side. So left side, right side. Okay. And I'm doing from the inside to the halfway point, and I'm also following the line of my eyebrow. So there's a method to my madness, even if I look like a scatterbrain. Okay, so we'll be done with that one because that one's not like one that I'm like super excited to use again. I don't have to really use that one again. And now, you're going to tell all your friends, look, she put her bifocals on. Oh, this is very fancy. Cream de Violet. It sounds, very, I don't know, ladies who lunch. But I'm going to layer this on top of the color that I just did. Even though I'm on the same side, I'm using the pillowcase, just brushing back and forth to get some of that color off because I want to purely use this color as is. You can't really tell as much, but there's a shimmer to it. And so I don't want to waste the shimmer. So you're going to brush again. So I don't want to waste the shimmer on a blended color. And I'm also not doing the bone tap because I want it to go on heavy. So left eye, right eye. You might be asking yourself, Liz, what's with the high drama makeup? And I'll say, worlds. It's 2020. Nobody's seeing any other part of your face than your eyes. That's all she wrote. Because what I'm going to do after I finish is I'll take stills wearing masks. Because even though like this is like club makeup, it's not everyday makeup. It's still, if you kind of think, let me see, I think I have a very plain mask. But I guess that proves the point. If you're doing makeup, let's say you're doing club makeup, if you're going to focus on your eyes, you want a really subtle lip, like almost no color at all, because this is a lot. And if you put a lot of color all over the place, you'll look like a clown. Which is not our goal. All right, so it's glitter time. So I'm going to close all those other colors that I used as my base before I went full glitter. Um, so get COVID-19, one of the jokes is if six crafters are doing a project and one crafter is using glitter, how many projects have glitter? All of them. So when you're making choices with glitter, go gentle. Like I said, gentle like a puppy. Be very, very gentle. So I have put aside for my pink side, I have a few choices. And it's bifocals time. So this one, glitter, this is not just glitter that you'd buy in your grocery, not your grocery store, but like, Michael's. It's high pigment, but it's also meant to adhere to your makeup. I know you're thinking to yourself, Liz, you've made a mess of your eyebrows. You're not coloring within the lines. That's not the point. I fix everything else after I put the color in. And then it will look much different and you'll be like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. But I gave you the ends of the plot. This one is kind of orangey gold. It's called Melon, appropriately. When you are using glitter or you're using, this is like high pigment shimmer. Oop. This is high pigment shimmer. And let me just tell you, do not just stick your brush in this. If you're using high pigment shimmer, gently, gently, gently open the top. And do not directly pour in. You're going to, like you're dealing with explosives, you take the lid and lightly tap as if like you're trying not to put like the spiciest, ghost pepper into your food. So this is white. I'm not going to use this right now because like white is going to be a highlight color that I would put on the brow when I'm done with everything else. And I'm not going to use the golds. I'm going to go straight glitter. And once again, same brush because it's like my everything brush. Just to get some of it off. Same concept though. This glitter will go everywhere. So you don't stick your brush inside the jar. You open the lid and you very gently take off the little protection, which helps so that you don't open it and then really expensive glitter everywhere. And tap even less because glitter already wants to move much more than just like the high intensity pigment. And then I'm like tapping in. So I'm like filling the bristles with the glitter. Okay. So I'm filling the bristles with the glitter. This is pink. Pink's gonna go on this side. And so I'm gonna have to pull my lash down. Okay. Good enough. Okay. So you're thinking, Liz, you have a lot of color and it's all over the place. What are you doing? It's because eventually I'm going to use my blending brush. So for now, I'm just going wild and crazy with my, and this one actually has holes in it, with my glitter. Once again, putting it in the lid rather than in the lid, and then you just tap, tap, tap in so that you're like filling the bristles. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just swipe across. So let me find my eye. This is not like I'm much more elegant if I'm like literally face to face with the mirror, but I'm making the most of the circumstances. Drama. See what I meant about the glitter? You can always add more, but undoing it usually means taking your makeup off completely. So I'm going to put that to the side. I think I'm pretty much done with that pink. I think. Now the other side. The other side I have 2 glitters. This one's smooth. Whoop! This one's smooth. This one's sparkly. Smooth first, sparkly second. And I'm going to, once again, this is like really dirty. I'm going to rub it back and forth. And then just going to put some in the lid. Same deal, tap, 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 tap in. So you're, tapping in. So it's not forceful, but it's still, you want to embed those bristles. And obviously this is what you're going to wear for an interview. No, you're not. Okay. Alrighty. So left eye. The little protective condom off, which helps you not cover everything. And once again, same brush, just trying to get the excess off the bristles. And take my lid. Tap, 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 tap. Just like Bob Ross. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, go on Netflix or Hulu. And he does those like Joy of Painting shows. And he's just amazing. Okay, left eye. At the end of this, I'll show you how magnificently colorful my hands are right now, but I won't pull the curtain back just yet. Just gonna do the wise thing, which is put the lids back on all the glitter. Make sure you put the little glitter condoms back on. And I swear to God, I think some glitter from my my club years still exists in my old home, because it never goes away. So we close those up. And then remember I told you about this, this is like a high pigment, it's like a silver white. It is super strong. And I'm going to use a blending brush with it, with the same kind of tap, 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 to embed the brush with color. Where are you? Here you are. Now this is normally for blush, but because I'm going to be blending while simultaneously using a very powerful color. So I tapped in, but I'm also tapping in my hand. So you can see my hand's a little silvery. All right. So now looks different, right? You're like, where's that horrific color that you were working with? Well, that wasn't my goal. Now I'm just going to use the blending brush. And of course, like having color under and over your lids like this is totally a club thing. This is not a go out with your friends and be fancy kind of thing. And also, one of the techniques that was used a lot when I was a teen is to take the color out to the side. So I'm taking this shimmer out rather than like intense color, which I've done before. Tap, tap, tap. Okay. Ugh. My leg's being crossed. It's starting to be uncomfortable. Give me a second. Straightening leg, straightening leg. Okay. We're back. Color. Okay, so I'm putting away all of the high intensity color things so that they don't make any more chaos in my filthy room. So now that I've softened everything, let's see, softened, especially like over here was that like really overly done. Okay, very nice. So I don't need that anymore. I do want you. You, I will play with you again. Okay. So these kind of brushes are for liner. And I'm trying to find the one that I want to use. This one. And we're returning to the pink for the pink side, the Mess in a Dress. And I'm going to do my best to line my lid, once again with the caveat that I can't see. So I'm just doing this by touch, right? So left eye, pink eye is on this side. Oh, I like that. So I'm going at like the lash line on both the upper and lower. Okay. Don't cry. All right, I like that. Cool. And what are we gonna do for the dark side? That'll be too pretty. I don't want to be too pretty. Okay, well, it'll be pretty. Why not? Threw it on the floor. Did I mention I'm really graceful? Okay. Okay. So this is, I love MAC. I live and I dream. Okay. So this one is a pretty green. It's called Melody, which could be like a white girl name or a type of music. We'll hope for the best because I can't see. All right, so I'm gonna once again clean the brush so I have all the pink off because I don't want to put the pink on my green side. So I'm just doing swirly, 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 swirly just to get it fully amped up. Same deal, following the top lash line, following the lower lash line. And this is my left eye. Okay, let's see what it'll come out. Cool. Now, if you can see, you see the different color in my eye. The whole reasoning behind the blue-green is the brown. So that's why I didn't use golds or anything, because I wanted the green and blue to bring out the brown in my eye. And the pink is just an homage to Pink, who is my hero. And I want to be her best friend. I want to marry her. I want to be her. you know, all that in a bag of chips. She's just the jam. She's my favorite. All right. Now we're at mascara time, which will be super interesting. Because normally I'd wash my hands. But since I'm not going anywhere, why do I care? So, glasses, where'd you go? All right, here we go. So this is really hard to read. It looks like Sweaty Bitty. I don't know. This is a MAC lash color, and it's actually you see the graphic design, the green, that's the color of the mascara. When you are doing mascara, before you even, I'm just moving shit aside so I can practice what I preach. Also, don't keep mascara longer for like 6 months or a year. Just buy new because you don't want bacteria. So this is what it looks like when you take it out. If you look at it, it's kind of gloopy. So what I do before I actually apply is I kind of swirl it into a tissue, taking off the excess. And another thing that when I was getting my wedding makeup done was they said, curl your lash first, then put on the mascara. So this is totally awkward and fun. Let's see if I can do it. Okay. This is like dyslexical. Okay, there we go. Not my favorite, but that's just gonna have to go because it's like it shows you how I'm like the opposite of ambidextrous, and I'm totally confused by the webcam. Left eye. Okay. Need to move this forward. Let's see. I'll come right back because I'm going to have to do this in a mirror. I can't do it without. So I'm going to, you'll just have to look at my pillows while you wait for me. I'll be right back. Oh, God. Okay. So I did it in your absence, but so curl your lashes first so that you're not putting mascara on your lash curler. When you put mascara on your lashes itself, start at the base and gently rock back and forward towards the tip. That helps you separate your lashes so it doesn't get clumpy. And sorry I couldn't show you in real time, but there was no way that mascara was gonna go on if I tried to use the webcam. It just wasn't gonna work out. So I decided for the pink side just to use regular mascara. But nothing's regular with MAC. Let's see if I have my glasses. All right. Zoom lash. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. So let me ponder what I shall do next. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a blender brush, and I'm going to go back to my cute little Star Trek. And this time I'm going to highlight the brow, which means you're going from like the brow towards the center of your nose and outwards, and this kind of allegedly opens up your eyes. And once again, since it's such a simple color, go nuts. It's a soft blending brush. Blending brushes do not transfer as much color, so you don't need to be stressing. You can just have fun. So just go up along the side, go down the center, follow, 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 follow to the side, swirl, swirl, swirl. Oop. Here comes the dyslexic part. Apparently doing my left side is a nightmare. Just a little bit more. Okay. Let's see. What else shall we do? I think I'll do a little bit of color on the cheeks, and on one side I'm gonna have the pink. I mean, the blue will go this way and the pink will go that way, but when I have the mask on you won't be able to see it, so it's kind of a moot point. But we have some glitter choices, because why use MAC if you're going to use natural color? Okay, so my choices are, this is called Dazzle Glass by MAC, and I have 3 colors. I have Comet Blue, I have Fabulous, and I have Extra Amps. Let's look at these. Oh, cool. So what I'm going to do, in the upper lip, I'm going to have one side pink, one side blue, and the lower lip, I'm going to have all purple. I don't know if it's going to work, but it's going to be fine. And this will be a lot easier than the eyeshadow, I promise you. Before I do anything, though, let's see. Oh, I did take lipsticks out for a reason. I almost forgot. I'm not going to use that one. Okay. So I have 2 different pinks, and these are going to be my base color. It's what I'm going to put on the bottom. When you have a Dazzle Glass or a lip gloss, that goes on last. I like to use a base color. You would think I'm not a pink girl, other than Loving Pink, the artist. But these are 2 options, and I think what I'm going to do is the bolder color. And once again, the bolder color is called, oh my god, this is so sciencey, Metallic Ionized Iris. And the cool part is I can keep my glasses on for this, since I'm no longer doing the eye part of it. Let's see. Okay. You know, you would normally probably line it. But I'm not getting too technical because this is just the base. Okay. And let's see. Forget the purple. We'll just have blue lower lid, pink upper lid. Just to make things less complicated. Maybe I'll do something with the purple. Okay, so blue lower. Pretty. Let's see. Amazing. So that's the pink. And I will put the purple on the top. That's nice and glossy. That's fun. Okay, and let's see, a little color for the cheeks. I'll use this. I'll use the Cream de Violet because it's really subtle. And this brush, which is 187 SE, it's super soft. So when you're trying to do a more subtle blush, go with a softer brush. And so just, this is not a blush, this is an eyeshadow, but it's quarantining. There are no rules. Tap on the phone so it's not too much. So you're gonna go down, up, up. You're gonna follow the cheekbone and go right here, up, 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 down, down. Same color, up, up, up. The rule about not getting lip gloss or lipstick on your teeth, you put your finger in your mouth, pull it out, check your teeth, make sure that you didn't get it on anything. The reason why I use that method, like if you watch old movies, like, hey, use a tissue, but tissue is going to take your gloss off, and it doesn't help you. What you want is the inside of your lips not to have pigment on it. Okay, what shall we do last? I'll close that up so I don't make a huge mess. I'm going to use this brush again. And let's see, what color do we have? I'm gonna go Star Trek-y again. Now that we have all this color on, and it's too much, right? What I'm gonna do is a Star Trek-y color, and I'm gonna do it along here and under here, just to do a blend. I'm gonna put it on with the brush, and then I'm gonna blend with my fingers. Soft brush. You can push as hard as you want because you just want to fill it up with pigment. It's glitter. It'll show up in pictures. Tap, tap, tap on the wrist. Under one lid. Under the other lid. Along the inside. Along the inside. And there we go. And so this is like the overall look, which is kind of wild. So now you see with the gloss, and now we're gonna do, we're kicking it like 2019. Here's your mask. So let's just forget that I actually put lip gloss on, but oh, I almost forgot a final step. When you go clubbing, you sweat a lot. So you want your makeup to stick. So it's called Prep and Prime. You can have either it smells like coconut, or you can have the one that smells like, what's it called? Roses. I'm going rose. Let me just remember how this spray is, right? Open. Yes, okay. So you're going to mist yourself. So that holds the color in place. I'm glossy for the moment. But that's all you need. It's not a fail-safe. You are going to drip. You know, you're going to drip from being in the club, you're going to sweat, you're going to touch your face. So things aren't going to be perfect. And now I want you to think about how traumatized you were when you were seeing me blindly put the makeup on, and you're like, that's really not going to work. And she's got her eyes closed, she doesn't know what she's doing. So we're down to the final step, which is going to be with another kind of like highlighter color on the brow. Whoop. And it's called Digit. It's not white. It's like kind of close to like a light purple. And I'm going to use it. I'm going to clean my soft brush once again. I'm pressing pretty hard because it's soft and I don't have to worry. And then you just kind of go from inside to outside. Swirl again. And then you go from inside to outside. Okay. All right. So that's everything. We're going to say goodbye to the lip gloss because I'm going to put on a boring mask. But masks are awesome because they keep people... Masks are not can prevent you from getting sick, but actually masks are a sign of being fierce because you're like, hey, I'm fine, but I give a fuck about you. So you take the mask, put it on, cover your face and your nose, and there you go. Now you have boring mask, fun eyes. Thanks for watching my tutorial and dealing with all the tech stuff, and I'll come even closer and you can see, see my little challenge. Nice little brown eye going on right there. So the point of all of this is we have a lot of time in our homes and we have time to play. And for all you humans, however you're born, however you identify, whatever your gender is, you can do whatever you want. Don't let somebody tell you that that's not, you don't know what you're doing, right? I'm going to take down my hair. And that, my friends, is Saturday night.